Hi guys, Grim here. We'll be showing you behind the scenes of some cool tech we have provided by Starforge. I'm joined here by Mitch
and Sam. I think the first thing we should talk about is how the PC's got here, yeah?
I think you should explain that.
I think you should explain that.
Grim's actually been in charge of the logistics of all that stuff. So.
Yeah.
How the PCs got here.
Yeah.
Well, our favorite shipping company that is currently undisclosed.
Redacted.
They kind of had like a 2-day delay on the Starforge shipment, which was 22 parcels, I think.
It's a lot of parcels.
It's a lot of parcels. And basically what happened is we were at the edge where it wouldn't be delivered on Friday, and next delivery date is Monday. But Monday is also a bank holiday. So it's not Monday, it's Tuesday, where we would then be 4 days without any technical support, which was bad. So what kind of happened is, like, me and a guy from the venue here called Andrew, super cool guy, went into a truck and drove for 2.5 hours to the undisclosed depot at 9 p.m.
Oh, no.
And then we came back.
Little road trip before the race never hurts anyone.
Yeah.
And that was after 8 hours of my travel to here. It was pretty great.
I remember arriving at the venue and you weren't here, and then you were arriving like an hour later with a truck full of PCs. It was just like, they're here.
We did that, but everything came in, and it was super nice.
I'm beating it down, I'm back in that bag again. Whoa, whoa, oh say less, I'm back in that bag again. Yeah, oh say less, I'm back in that, yeah. What you doing? Yeah.
I mean, we should also like fully state, by the way, that like Starforge have been quite possibly one of our most supportive partners throughout all of this.
100%.
Like, they have given us PCs that are just completely insane, like massively overkill, and it's made everything that we're doing like possible. Like, we couldn't have done it without them.
It's an interesting thing that you say that, because all the PCs that we spec'd out for production, players, encoders that you can see here, they're pretty cool. They're spec'd massively overkill, but because we have so much overhead, we have so much room to play with, we kind of increased the production quality because of it.
Yeah.
And now we're doing things that we kind of didn't plan to, but it's working. So, yeah.
And the cool thing is, like, when you asked us like what we want for production, like, to us that's like a huge ask. You know?
Yeah.
And then you were like, I'll see what I can do, and the Starforge was like, no problem.
It's fine.
Like the fact that, like, you know, they provide normal gaming PCs and they just went completely like, hey, you want server grade technologies, you want parts that we can't usually get. Like the team at Starforge have just been so generous in terms of like, just like, yeah, no, we'll get you that. That's not a problem.
It's not just commercial grade PC hardware we're talking about. We're talking about like server grade, like Threadripper PCs. Like
the perfect example production PC is currently a Threadripper Pro 5975X or W, not completely sure, but that CPU is a chonker.
Yeah.
Like, it's a chonker, and we can probably see the CPU usage on it is quite happy until you do your dancers. And
because we like to go kind of balls to the walls and do like really crazy stuff on breaks, right? So having a PC that's not throttled by hardware is a super big plus for us.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you thought like the race to world class production is like fine, the minute we put Emmett Selk on the screen,
the CPU normally jumps to like 100% usage.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
We are very grateful that literally you came to us and said, what's the wish list? And then you also, for some other things that we'll talk about later, gave them another wish list. And they just literally went, yes, which is insane.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So because this PC is such a chonker, it kind of acts as sort of like the hub that we run everything off of now, right?
Yeah.
This is like the central line. This is like the heartbeat of the production now. We're able to run all of our audio software, Companion. The X32 is running off of that with Dante. Like, this is sort of the chonkiest PC that we have, right? So we're using that as sort of the central line for everything else.
Yeah. And having that control hub, and also like that lets us switch things up and evolve our broadcasts to introduce probably the coolest thing that I think we're going to introduce this time around.
Exactly. So historically, our operation has been a one-man show. We've been able to operate the production from one person point of view. But yeah, we sort of expanded that into a 2-man operation now.
Yeah, so we should be able to bring you this time Race to the First for the first time from us, like live instant replay, which we can pull any of the 8 players that are on site, and literally go back and show you anything that they've done during a pull. So if somebody does an insane life grip, someone does a cool disengage, we get some amazing Demon Hunter action, and you want to see it again, or we weren't looking at that POV, we can go back and see it. But you had some specific challenges getting replay up and running, if you want to touch on them, because it made us sweat for a little bit. It made us sweat for a couple of days.
Yeah, basically the main challenge with replay at decent quality, right, is to store that.
Yeah.
Right? And I kind of did, when I was talking to Nicholas, the CEO of Starforge, I told him, yeah, we just need 8+ terabytes of high-speed storage, like NVMe storage. And I was like, yeah, cool. And basically what we did, we're running 2 of the crucial P3000s in RAID 0 to support that.
Yeah.
Because 1 is not enough, apparently.
Yeah, and you think it's recording 8 feeds permanently across 2 channels as well.
Yeah.
It's utterly insane, and it doesn't once we it
doesn't flinch.
Yeah, it was flinching before we raided the drives, but then as soon as we raided the drives, it's not flinched.
Buttery smooth.
It's unreal. Yeah.
RAID NVMEs will do magic for you.
It's beautiful.
Replay's been something we've wanted. We've talked about this for over a year at this point.
Yeah.
We've wanted to do replay really well, and
We've tried twice.
Yeah, and I think the reason why we haven't implemented it in the past is because we were, number one, uncomfortable with the whole setup, right? But we wanted to do it properly before we did it, for real.
If you try and do it and it's jank, it's not good.
The experience is not what it should be, you know? Yeah.
It has to be done properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the big things I think, and I would think something I want you to talk about as well, is because we're running these 2 computers that are doing amazingly huge load, right? The main production PC is doing a crap load of load. The replay machine is going all out, full tilt. We don't have any other overheads to do the main thing that we need to do, which is encoding.
We need to actually get the footage out of this place to you guys. So how we did that this time around, well, also last time, but this time in full capacity, is that we have these 3 beautiful PCs here. Video is being routed to those PCs, and those PCs are actually doing all on-site encoding for main production, for players, for everything. So there is almost 0 overhead from just streaming, which was fun. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I saw you sitting over a lot of terminal windows and remoting into a lot of PCs to get that working. But it means there's so much less overhead on these machines to do the hardest part of streaming, which is just encoding that video.
But the encoders themselves, they're 16-core Threadrippers with a 4070 in them, and all the encoding is mostly done on the GPU here, and that GPU 4070 is also screaming currently. They're wild.
It's also because we're dealing with professional grade video quality as well.
Yes.
SDI, that's a lot of data.
12 gigabits.
Yeah, it's a lot of data, and so not only are we pushing these things harder than any normal person would push them, we're pushing them at a pro grade, which is just insanity that it's handling all of that.
It's handling it really well. We're actually doing some off-site backup solutions for our Twitch channel, because the problem with Twitch is that we can't stream at any bitrate to Twitch. We're hard capped to 6 or 8K, which is okay, but we are actually uploading and encoding at 20K bitrate right now to an off-site solution at the same time. So for our highlights and other content, we have a crisp, high-quality feed.
So in your opinion, because this PC could easily encode its own streams,
Yes.
right? In your opinion, because in the past we have struggled with PCs that, the players are playing on, they're playing their game, they're streaming, but they're also encoding their own streams, right?
Yes.
So in your opinion, how much does that alleviate the demand on a player's PC? Because this is a good segue to talk about how insane the player PCs are.
I did this test actually. So if you just play WoW, great game, and you open OBS and just capture it, by default you lose 5% performance, just by that. You start streaming to Twitch, you lose not that much because it's offloaded to different cores, so it's actually okay. But you start a second OBS to stream to YouTube, or you stream to our internal streaming service, everything explodes.
Yes.
It goes real bad. real fast. So removing that additional OBS for players is massive, and combine that with insane performance of these PCs. They're 700 KFs with a 3070.
Considering how
No.
Blizzard's been building fights as well, like over the last sort of like 3 raid-tiers that we've seen, we're only hitting fights that have more and more intensive sort of like CPU-based encounters. That like lots of ads, lots of AoE
Anduin
damage.
Sepulchre is a perfect example.
Yeah,
right?
Anduin's the
But
perfect example.
WoW in general, it's like a really special snowflake
Yeah.
game that you can have like 100 cores, right? Won't matter.
Yeah,
The only thing that matters is pure single core performance.
yeah.
And these PCs are, I still didn't hear a single player complain about performance. I'm just gonna say that. They didn't. There's time, but they didn't.
The ultimate goal for the PCs is to make it so that that process is entirely seamless for them. Like
Yeah.
the performance loss for them cannot be felt whatsoever, because that'll impact their like how they perform in the raid and their enjoyment of the entire process. So the ability to offload that encoding process to these massively overpowered computers is a huge plus.
Talking about that, we are at a point where like performance impact is basically negligible, but next time it's gonna actually be 0.
Oh,
Oh, oh. It's gonna be fun.
No leaks.
No leaks.
No leaks. We'll see. But thank you very much, guys, for hanging out and having a chat with us about how we make this all work. We want to take this time to say a big thank you to Starforge, because we could not do this without them.
Absolutely.
And we hope you've enjoyed this, and we hope you enjoy the race. And we'll catch you all soon.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.